because it's supposed to be an expression of total love and commitment, and it's not, because there's no way that the white person can guarantee that in a system of racism that's designed to be harmful to black people in all areas of activity. And that's just another part of the harm. That's another part of the deception. It's equivalent to sitting down at the Thanksgiving table. You're sitting there, and everybody's feeling good, and everybody's eating and drinking and being merry and whatnot, but the land is being grabbed. The people's sustenance, the people's future is being taken away from them, because it says the same thing when anybody has sex. That's the ultimate act of intimacy. That's the ultimate act of trust. Oh, yes, that's ultimate. That's why all over the world, even in what they call native peoples or savage peoples, or people who are extremely primitive, they do put some value on the ultimate act of sexual intercourse. They say, oh, you just don't have sexual intercourse just any kind of old way under any kind of circumstances. We do have some limits. We do consider this as being something special. And most people understand this. You don't see the average person that's going around having sex with just anybody. I mean, it comes up and taps them on the shoulder. Some people do that. But most people say, oh, no, wait a minute. Let's have some communication first. Let's sit down and talk first. In this area of the world and many places of the world, I mean, they call it dating, or having a dinner date. Well, a dinner date is just that. That's dinner. Okay? And, and then maybe next time, I mean, after, what are they really saying? Have to kind of get to know you.
But
to kind of get some kind of outline of a contract.
Of who you are.
I mean, you just don't walk in, and just say, okay, I mean, you, and you, let's go have sex. Now, some people do that probably in a drunken stage, or if they're coked out on something, or drugged out on something, and people do have orgies and have parties and all like that. But that's not the usual procedure throughout the world 24/7. And everybody knows that, even among the most primitive of people. They usually go through some kind of little ceremony, and prior to the ceremony, they have some type of arrangement, some type of understanding. They get to know each other some kind of way. They sit down and talk, maybe for days, or maybe for months, but they do talk, they do communicate before they get to the act of sexual intercourse. Sometimes it's just for a short period, maybe a few days. Sometimes it's months. Sometimes it's years. Sometimes it's even better for it to be years.
Wow.
And this is what you call learning, the learning process, communications. See, but just jumping in bed and then start asking questions like, what's your name?
Afterwards.
That usually doesn't happen.